Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including Dave Randorf, standing by, brought to you by Able Auctions. One of Vancouver Island's largest flooring dealers, Bob's Floors, is closing the doors of all locations forever and has ordered Able to sell all inventory to the highest bidder. This will be the largest flooring auction ever held in BC, with over 400,000 square feet of flooring all sold in one exciting day. Hardwoods, I know Randorf's listening to this and thinking, I got to get in on this.
Oh, yeah.
Waterproof laminates, vinyl rolls, carpet rolls, and a lot more. Homeowners, builders, contractors, broadcasters. This is your chance to save thousands on top quality flooring. For info on this auction, other auctions, or to get your business assets sold at auction, go to ableauctions.ca, ABLE auctions.ca. Canucks lose 2-0 to the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia last night. They continued their road trip tomorrow night, Thursday night, in Tampa Bay against the Lightning. It's Tampa Bay's home opener. And joining us now, longtime Canadian broadcaster, former sports page host, and since 2020, play-by-play voice on television for the Tampa Bay Lightning, our friend Dave Randorf. Dave, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, Donnie and Dolly. Great to be with you boys. Bob's closing the doors, huh? That's unbelievable.
He is. Yeah. He sends his regards. I'll see if I can get you a deal. How's life in Tampa Bay? Great. How's life in Tampa Bay, Florida? It's been a while now.
Yes, it's time flies, man. It's this is the start of season number 4 for me here. So time has flown by, but it's been great. Obviously, the team has been very good and exciting to cover. I'm sure we're going to talk about the start they're on right now, but it's been great. It was very, very hot this summer. It's difficult to get used to the heat in the summertime, so I'm gonna have to come up with a summertime plan. But overall, no complaints, Donnie.
Buck up for some air conditioning. Maybe Abel will be able to help you out with that someday. I'm sure you have
we got the AC. We got the AC. That's you can't live without that here. That's for sure.
All right, Buffalo defeats the Lightning 3-2 in overtime last night. So the Lightning 1-2-1 after 4 road games. Given the situation in goal with no Vasilevsky, can the Lightning be satisfied with that, Dave?
Yes and no. First of all, I hate to do this. I'm going to give you a slight correction. They've had one home opener already. Their home opener was last week against Nashville, and then they went on the road for 3. So the one against the Canucks tomorrow is the
Dave, thanks for joining us. We appreciate that.
See you later. Bye.
Well, I just want to, because if you said it again, I couldn't, I just wouldn't be able to let it go. So, anywho.
All right. 1-2-1. Can they be satisfied?
Yes and no, as I was starting to say. First of all, as everybody knows, Andrei Vasilevsky had back surgery late September. They expect him back. It went well, and they expect him back and up and running, early December at the earliest. So you're looking at 2 months with 2 unproven, unexperienced goalies. But don't look at this record and just say, oh, well, that's the reason. They've got no Vasi, and these 2 goalies are letting them down. That's not the story at all. These 2 guys have been fine. Could they have made an extra save here or there? Perhaps, but they have not been the reason why they only have 1 win in their first 4. They're going with a guy named Jonas Johansson, who none of these guys are young kids. He's 27. He played in a little bit. I think he had 35 career starts coming into this. But he's matured, and he changed with Jacob Markstrom actually in Sweden in the off season, and a group of NHL goalies back home in Gävle. And then the other guy's name is Matt Tompkins, who is 29, and he made his first career start on the weekend. Imagine that, 29 years of age, 7th round pick. The same year the Lightning drafted Vasilevsky in the first round, he was taken in the 7th round. And he's been in Sweden the last couple of years, and he was all right against Ottawa on Sunday. So that's not the problem. So they're getting steady enough goaltending. What they're doing is John Cooper has, instilled a new, slightly new defensive system. They've got to play better D in front of whoever's in it, and that includes Vasilevsky. There were way too many nights last year where they had too many grade A's and they're getting outshot, and they just weren't as tight in their own end and as tight shutting things down as they had been in the previous 2 years. So I think what's happening right now is there's a lot of thinking and not playing, believe it or not. Even with the experienced crew that they've got, it's slowing their game down at times. Now, having said that, last night was their best effort, 60-minute effort so far. They're still getting outshot, but they're also missing that net a lot. They're getting a lot of shot attempt volume, but at the end of the day, Braden Point, 51 goals last year, doesn't have a goal yet. They're without Steven Stamko right now, who's out day-to-day with a lower body injury that he picked up Saturday night in Detroit. And not sure if he's going to play tomorrow against the Canucks. We'll see. They don't think this is anything serious or it's going to be long-term. But, that has a trickle-down effect on the depth. And you know who else got hurt early is Tyler Mott, guy that you guys know pretty early, who I think is a pretty solid depth player. They had Josh Archibald all ready to go, and about a month before camp, Archibald decided he wasn't going to play. He wanted to just step away from the game. So they went out and got Mott, who was still out there, and he wanted more money, and he ended up taking basically league minimum. And I think he's a solid fourth liner. I don't know what you guys thought of his time in Vancouver, but I thought that was an upgrade, to tell you the truth, on Josh Archibald. And then he broke his hand. So he's been out. So the depth right now is being tested. Believe it or not, on opening night last week, they had 12 different players in the lineup than they had a year before for their home opener. That includes both goalies. And there's different reasons for that. Some guys were hurt, like Vasilevsky, but a lot of guys have just moved on or been traded. And so there's been a lot of turnover in the last 3 years for the Lightning. So that's another thing that's kind of slowing them down a bit. But again, when you still have Point and Kucherov and Sergachev and Hedman, who, by the way, has looked very good, and all the other names that, Cirelli, Brandon Hagel, who's got both goals last night, this is still a core that is going to get its fair share of wins. They're just going through a bit of a sluggish start for all those reasons.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned Stamkos, the story a few weeks ago that, it's his final year of his deal, and he's kind of disappointed there hasn't been any contract talks. What do you make of that story, Dave?
Yeah, I was standing right there on opening day of media day when he came out and he was asked about his contract situation. And Steven, in a very calculated way, like he's a future Hall of Famer. He didn't say it in any kind of vindictive, angry way. He just said it matter-of-factly. He was asked honestly, what do you think? And he answered honestly saying, I'm disappointed that there has been basically no talks during the summer on an extension. He's a unrestricted free agent, as you just said, Rick, next summer. And I think it's very, very important to him that he's hit all these milestones, 500 goals, 1,000 points, 500 goals against the Canucks last year in Vancouver, 1,000 games. He's their all-time leading scorer, and he's done it all in one jersey, and he wants it to stay that way, as a lot of guys do. And anyway, I think what also bothers him a bit is that it's all those other guys that I just mentioned, Sergachev, Chernak, Hagel, Cirelli, they all got extensions a year ahead of their contracts expiring. All got taken care of. And he's like going, hello, I'm the captain here, and there's going to be a statue of me up front eventually, and my number's going to be in the Raptors. And he didn't say that, of course, but that's all true. And so I think that's probably not sitting too well with him. But so after Steven said that to the media, Julian Brisebois took to the podium on opening day of media day and said that, listen, we think the world of Stamkos on and off the ice. That's obvious. And we want Steven to play his entire career here too. But it's not just about that. This is also about him staying here and about us being competitive year in, year out, meaning the salary cap. I've got to look at things. I've got to look at who I brought in, how the puzzle pieces are fitting in, and assess every bit of information before I make another long-term contract decision. So he's come right out and said there's going to be no more talk during the season at all. And you know what it's going to be like. He's going to go to Toronto. He's going to go to Montreal. He's going to go to a hot Canadian market. He's going to be asked about these things. And so I don't think it'll bother him. I don't think it'll become a distraction. He was off to a great start in the first couple of games before he got hurt. So, and it's just a different level of media coverage here. I think we've talked about this when I've been on with you guys before. It's not Vancouver where you're dissecting every single thing, and this isn't a topic every single day. So he can kind of go about his business here in a different manner than he would be able to in Vancouver. So, but it's a thing, and it'll be very interesting to see what Julian Brisebois decides once the season comes to an end.
Hey, Dave, we were talking about only 11,000 in Winnipeg last night. You've been in Tampa Bay now 3 or 4 years. Tell us about, just the hockey in Tampa Bay. How good is it? How strong it is? I know they've won a lot, but, crowds go up and down everywhere. How has it been in Tampa Bay?
I don't know the exact number, Rick, but I think it's well over 300 consecutive sellouts.
Wow.
And the place is packed every night. And keep in mind, you can't just say that. There is a criteria that teams have to hit before they can say that it's sold out. Sometimes people would say, "Oh yeah, well that's just what they're saying." No, that it's packed every night, and the crowd loves the Lightning. It is, I think, I've talked about it before. They've really engaged with the community here. Their owner is unbelievable. Treats everybody inside and outside the organization extremely well. Gives away $50,000 every single night to a nonprofit. So that's registered here. And along with the fact that the team's been good, and of course winning cups and going to finals, it's a hockey town, guys. It's they absolutely love the Lightning. You'll see the atmosphere tomorrow night, no doubt. I mean, the Canucks aren't a traditional rival. They only make one visit here, but the Lightning have only had the one home game, so I'm sure it'll be another. It was actually a good game, if I remember correctly, last year when the Canucks were here. So, and the Canucks are a good team to watch. They've got a lot of good players, and people I notice know who the other players are around here. They're a very knowledgeable crowd. It's not like they just know the Lightning guys. They'll know Quinn Hughes, they'll know Pettersson, they'll certainly know JT Miller as he was here. But it's a great atmosphere, guys. We've all been around the league. We've all been to different barns, and I don't just say that because I work for the team. It's a great place to see a game, and I encourage any Canuck fan to put it on the road trip itinerary. You won't be disappointed, and the weather doesn't suck either.
Well, think how many people they'll have tomorrow night for that home opener, Dave.
Yeah, that's right.
It should be outstanding. I can't
It should be amazing. They're going to introduce the players all over again.
Yeah. We didn't get it right that first time, so we're going to do it all over again. What a knucklehead I am, as you know well. Hey, Dave, thanks for doing this. We appreciate it. We'll get you back on the show soon.
All right, boys. I kept my eye on the Canucks last night too. I thought they worked hard, and that's a nice start they're off to. So hopefully the Canucks can get some traction here. The fans there deserve it. So thanks for having me on, boys.
No problem. You might be the only person with that opinion, but thanks for doing this, Dave. Appreciate it.
See ya.
You bet. Dave Randorf.